Welcome. Graduates, please be seated. So you need to know, while I was writing this speech, I was tearing up, and I said, I'm not going to do that. As you're walking in, I'm like already tearing up, so just expect it. So before I start, I'm Dr. V, known to the students. I'm a retired chiropractor, medical assistant, program coordinator, and I'm here very proudly introducing our medical assistants to all of you. And they could not have done this without all of your support. So give yourselves a hand. So now I need my glasses. So as I said when I was writing my speech, as I looked over the list of students sitting before you today, as well as those who were unable to attend, I have only one word: respect, with all capitals. Despite COVID lockdowns, transitioning from totally residential to totally online, and this included training everyone on how to use Google Hangouts. And rest assured, it wasn't just the students who had trouble. We had an entire in-service about how to use it, and we still had trouble. Reduced number of patient hours, clinics not allowing us in because of COVID. You know what that does to our program? Not fun. So despite that, you all made it through. You have all officially embarked on a career in healthcare. For some of it, it is patient care. For others, administration and leadership. Still others have chosen to further their education by enrolling in our phlebotomy program, our limited x-ray program, nursing, physician's assistant, and even medical school. So I'm very, very proud. When every one of you students attended orientation, I let you know the program was intense, that there were strict policies to be adhered to. And then COVID hit, and now we had pandemic policies. And so you couldn't arrive, class would start at 8 or 8:30, depending on what program you were in, and you couldn't arrive at 7:58 or 8:26 anymore and make it upstairs because elevators were locked, we had to take your temperature, and you had to sign a disclosure knowing you, during a pandemic, were coming into our building. And trust me, we have piles and piles of papers to prove that. So despite it all, you have proven it can be done, just by your presence here today. As you leave our Gurnick nest, stand just a bit taller, knowing that whatever obstacles you have hurdled around, over, and through, whatever stones have been thrown, you've kept on your path. Remember, you've got castles to build. There are no limits to the possibilities. And always, we are all here for you. The faculty, your classmates, your friends, we're all here. And you know that because y'all text me. And I'm just so proud. And I got through it almost without that. So I'm going to have one of our instructors, Dr. A, come up here and say a few words before we get to the long-awaited, you get your completion certificate. And I know it's very warm.
I am Dr. Iman Amer. This is my full name, but it's difficult to pronounce, so that's why I make it easy for everybody, Dr. A. But it's actually Amer, and in Arabic it's Amer, so it's so difficult. So Dr. A is good, easy for everybody. I am an MD, retired MD, and of course a medical instructor. And I have the pleasure to teach most of these students. And I am here to congratulate you all graduate. Today is a great day to celebrate with your family and friends and with us too. And Actually, I am proud of all my students. I shared their teaching. I shared some memories, some tough things an obstacle to overcome. And here we are. I will not take too many time because you're eager to get your certificate. Congratulations again.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, administrators and teachers. Before I start, I would like to take a moment and say I am honored to be giving this commencement speech today. Today, we all have gathered here to reminisce on our journey at Gurnick's Academy and look forward to a new journey. Today, we celebrate the hard work, the sweat and tears, and the dedication that have allowed us to walk across this stage. When I started my journey, I told myself one thing, again and again. It's a quote by Nelson Mandela and my personal life motto. So it goes, "It always seems impossible until it's done." I was terrified my first day, as I'm sure many of my other classmates were as well. I was uncertain if I would make it through the program and do well, especially during a pandemic. Right? Also, the amount of material we were going to cover in such a short amount of time seemed almost impossible. But we persevered, and now looking back, it wasn't all that bad. In the beginning, everything appears terrifying, but once accomplished, it seems like nothing. The past few months may have not been the most memorable or enjoyable, but they did prepare us for the future. Because of Gurnick Academy, we are now equipped to work on the front lines. Here I have learned that we are now the bridges of communication between the physicians and the patients as medical assistants. We need to understand each patient on their own. We need to understand body language and expressions to provide the best possible care. Thank you to all the teachers and mentors who have taught us how to be the best medical assistants possible. I would also like to take a moment to thank my family. Thank you for being the backbone and pushing me to do better. Thank you, my husband. And a thank to all the friends and family in the crowd who have supported their graduates. The journey would not have been possible without your love and support. To all my fellow graduates, I wish you all the luck on your new journey. And also always remember the words of Hippocrates. Whenever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. And with that, thank you and congratulations to class of 2020 and 2021. Thank you.
Next, we will present the diplomas to our graduates. If I could have the program director to the stage, please. Our first graduate is Emily Arnez. Emily received high honors. Our next graduate is Courtney Arietta, and Courtney received honors. Our next graduate is Rosa Cervantes, who also received honors. Our next graduate is Jamoya Frazier. And our next graduate, Ariel Hernandez. Next is Helen Lowe. Our next graduate is Harjot Kaur. Harjot also received salutatorian honors. Our next graduate is Sue Liu. My apologies. Sue received valedictorian honors. Our next graduate is Edith Marmolejo. Our next graduate is Francisco Rodriguez, who received honors. The next graduate is Olga Sanchez, who received honors. Our next graduate is Matthew Tripp. Our next graduate is Lucia Valle, who received honors. Our next graduate is Yer Vu, who received honors. And last but certainly not least, Cindy Zong, who received valedictorian honors as well.
So there's just a little slight programmatic change here. I wanted to speak some more. So for those of you who are unaware, and the reason why we have two valedictorians is for the first, not the first time, but we have a partnership with a local community high school, charter school called Highlands. And so we had a valedictorian with the Highlands group and a valedictorian with the Gurnick group. So this Highlands group chose to come back to high school, get their high school diploma at the same time they got their medical assistant certificate.
Good evening. So I ask a question every, I would say, orientation, on most of the orientations. It's always, and I don't know if some of you remember this, but I always ask, who's nervous? Absolutely. That's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're still nervous, because you're a part of the healthcare team and you save lives. You shouldn't take that for granted. I'm sure your community, your friends, your family behind you, they don't take that for granted either. So we appreciate everything that you're doing and will continue to do for our community. And with that said, as you know, we have faced one of the most challenging times in modern human history. Our entire world changed in what seemed to be overnight. We had families, communities, and nations were definitely impacted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, more specifically healthcare. Providers were forced to rethink how to provide quality care for patients while at the same time combating this deadly virus. So although it has been difficult, and it will probably continue to be difficult, I'm proud to say that you, Gurnick students, responded selflessly by assisting frontline workers. And you did so without much complaint. You were brave, you were dedicated, and you were nothing short of heroic. And for that, it'll never be forgotten, and it'll not go unnoticed. So you have our gratitude, and I just want to thank you real quick here. So with that said, pivot is the most appropriate word I can describe 2020. Why, you might ask? Well, simply put, all of you had to pivot quickly to come to school, and then all of a sudden, overnight, oh, guess what? You're doing Zoom or Google Meetings to continue your education. So definitely, we can't forget about the clinical rotations as well, and the PPEs, and the training, and everything that you needed to get to that was different. And ultimately, your personal lives, amid the immense pressure that was put on you, you've had to also pivot. and you display tremendous tenacity and poise, and you did it with a smile. Now that we're in 2021, the word for this year is triumph. So I believe that our future in healthcare is bright because you're in it. You're going to be in it. You're going to continue to be in it. And like I mentioned, many of your extensive training due to the pandemic is going to give you a leg up. In fact, every single one of you understands what PPE is at this point, hopefully, right? You're probably going to dream about it for many, many months to come, maybe years. But on a serious note, I believe that this graduating class will have the opportunity to collaborate and improve our healthcare system for many generations to come. So, graduates, although you achieved a lot, please do not forget to thank all who supported you. Even more than ever, your support system deserves your praise, especially during this unprecedented time, because they too had to sacrifice immensely, and they invested in your dreams and your aspirations. So please, let's take a moment to thank your family, your friends, and certainly your instructors. And finally, permit me to give you parting words of wisdom before we close out the ceremony. 1, learn to embrace imperfection. No one's perfect. Remember, it's okay to be nervous, because that's what's going to motivate you and drive you. 2, the simplest and most precious gift that you can give others is time. It's fleeting. And 3, the last advice I can give you is put down your cell phones, connect with people, because tomorrow is never guaranteed, and make memories. Although selfies are nice too, but make those memories. And now the moment you have all been waiting for. Graduates, please rise. So as the campus director of Gurnick Academy of Medical Arts in Sacramento, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I hereby pronounce you be graduates with all honors, rights, and privileges thereunto. Gurnick, or graduates, you may now move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2021.